Hi, I'm Chris Cardona, and welcome to the brand new Norwegian Aqua, where I'll be bringing you along for one of our walking tours coming up on Talking Cruise. So hello from Norwegian Aqua, and we are going to start our walking tour here on deck number 6 forward. And looking down at the map, that'll put us right here where we have the Aqua Theater. So let's go check that out. We are here in the atrium on deck number 6. And this is the lowest level of the atrium. So if you look up here, we do have deck 6 that we're on, 7 and 8. And this whole area is actually open to the casino as well. So we are in Bimini right now. Casino is closed. But you can see they have lots of slot games available. And as I said, this whole area of the casino just wraps around the atrium and keeps heading towards the aft section, which I'll show you. So over here to the side, we do have several table games. Okay, we're going to push aft on deck number 6. And we'll continue our tour. So you can see over to the side here, they do have lots of other slot machines. So it's really not just like a room casino, it's kind of spills out all over this portion of deck number 6. And over here to the left, we have the Improv, which is the comedy club here on board Norwegian Aqua. All the spaces on board the ship are very nicely themed. This one has a really cool vibe in it as well. Over here we've got the stage. And you can't have a nightclub or a theater without a nice bar. So we do have a full service bar right here in the Improv. And lots of seating choices. If you want to sit up against the back and you don't want to necessarily be heckled on, this is a good spot to be over here in the corner. You've got this raised seating here. Okay, so from Improv, we're going to continue to move aft on deck number 6. And this is going to take us to the midship elevator lobby. So from the elevator lobby here, midship on deck 6, I'm going to take you around both sides because it does wrap around both sides of the aft section. And over here to the left, we do have the whiskey bar. And here we are at the Commodore room aft on deck number 6, and this is one of the main dining venues on board Norwegian Aqua. Right now they are open for breakfast, and it is all open seating, so no reservations required, and they'll get you in and get you a table, and maybe just avoid some of the busy times like between 6:30 and 7:30. And I'm always a fan, depending on what time you come for dinner and the time of year, but to get a nice seat up near the window, because you're lower down on the ship, you'll get some really nice views, like here today in Bimini. So just a little aft of the main entrance to Commodore, we do have the Swirl Wine Bar. And this is a cool little bar. It's kind of small, but it's got a cool vibe in here. Now on the other side of the whiskey bar, we do have Hasuki, which is the Japanese teppanyaki here on board Norwegian Aqua. And Norwegian Cruise Line was one of the first cruise lines to introduce teppanyaki dining to the cruise industry. And this is a very large venue, so lots of tables, but believe it or not, it gets quite full very early on in your cruise. So if you'd like to join the communal seating that they offer here and the great show that the chefs put on during their meal prep, definitely come here to Hazuki on board Norwegian Aqua. So from aft here on deck number 6, we're going to work our way up to deck number 7, and we'll have a look at what they have to offer up there. Okay, so from midship here on deck number 7, I'm going to take you aft, and then we'll work our way around. So now we're heading aft on deck number 7, and that brings us to the Humidor Cigar Lounge. I don't know if it is open. It is. This is a completely sealed environment, but it does allow you to smoke cigars without having it infiltrate everywhere else on the ship. And kind of what you would expect inside a cigar lounge. Nice dark rich leather seating. And a point I will make is that this is the cigar lounge. You cannot smoke cigarettes in here. So we're going to continue to head aft on deck number 7. So from the cigar lounge we come into this large open space, which is the Metropolitan here. So this is a lounge bar. It's kind of in between some of the specialty dining here on deck number 7. And they do have some nice live music in here as well. And now right across from the lounge we do have Cagney Steakhouse. I don't know if I can get in here now. I think it's probably, oh, there we go. So this is Cagney Steakhouse. This is a specialty restaurant here on Norwegian Aqua and pretty much a mainstay on all Norwegian cruise ships. Has a really nice, vibrant decor. I really like this pop of green in here. If you're looking for an intimate evening, they do have these nice two-tops that are tucked up against the wall. Now with Norwegian's More at Sea program, where you can get an included 1, 2 or more specialty dining venues with your cruise purchase, these venues are filling up very, very quickly. So I suggest the moment you arrive on board, or if you can, it wasn't available in my case, but if you can, pre-book these at home before you even get on your cruise so that you won't be disappointed. Okay, so from Cagney's, we're going to continue to go aft on deck number 7. If you are staying in a Haven suite, there are these elevators kind of midway that give you access through key card to the Haven area on board. And we've now arrived at Nama Sushi, which is located mostly aft on deck number 7. And this is open for lunch, I believe, on sea days, and it is open for dinner every evening. If you want to be up close to the action, you've got the sushi bar right here. And again, this is one of the options that you could utilize your More at Sea included dining. Right across the hall from Nama Sushi, we do have Le Bistro, which is the French restaurant here on Norwegian Cruise Line, pretty much on all of their ships. I did have a really nice dinner here last night. One of my favorites on Norwegian Cruise Line. So from the bistro on deck 7 aft, we do have Hudson's, which is another main dining room here on Norwegian Aqua. And I did eat in here on the first evening, and it was very nice. Great attentive service. Nice ambiance in here as well. You can see this really nice aft location gives you these wrap-around floor-to-ceiling windows, which again, depending on the time you're enjoying your meal, can be really fantastic. All right, so we are back midship now on deck number 7. I'm going to walk you towards the forward section. So over here you can see we do have the duty-free shops, liquors and cameras and all sorts of souvenirs for you to bring home. Here we have handbags and some clothing. And over here we have Sid Norman's Poorhouse, which is one of the entertainment venues on board Norwegian Aqua. And this is one of the really popular spots on board. The other night they had a duo doing ABBA and Bee Gees music, and it was rocking. Got a nice full service bar here as well. All the bar service has been fantastic on board the ship as well. Okay, from Sid Norman's we are going to continue to head forward on deck number 7. And this thoroughfare that's going to take us to the atrium is lined with different kiosks. Here we have some more handbags, jewelry, watches. Over here we have some more watches in the time zones. Loads of brand name sunglasses. And then here we are back in the atrium. Now again, I'll take you on one side and wrap you around the other. So over here we do have guest services. This is an onboard credit area. I guess if you have or need to check on your onboard credit, you can do that here. And it is open 24 hours a day. And then right off guest services, we do have this little section here where you can plug in, use your computer, and enjoy some of these incredible views again. Lots of really wide open views to the ocean on this ship, which I really appreciate, especially on the lower decks where usually you do not get that connection to the sea. And in the inner section of the atrium, again, you've got lots of seating. All right, we'll continue to head forward here on deck number 7. And then I'll wrap you around and we'll come back to the atrium before moving on. And this is going to take us up here again to the Aqua Theater and Nightclub, which right now I think they're doing some rehearsals, but I do have some images to show you from the show from the other night. So we are now all the way forward on deck number 7, and from the Aqua Theater we are going to start to move aft again. I'll take you around the other side through the atrium and then we will continue. So over here to my left, this is where you can talk to somebody about your internet package on board the ship. And then over here to the right we do have a licensed Starbucks on board the ship. Now this is not included in the standard beverage package. You would have to up to a premium, or you would pay a la carte for any of the menu items here on board the ship. And there's a look at some of the current pricing. And there are lots of spots to enjoy your nice hot beverage or chilled beverage. Again, with those great views out to the water. And then over here we do have the cruise next desk. So if you book a future cruise on your current cruise, you can get things like onboard credits, reduced deposits, and other perks. Sometimes they have special pricing as well, so definitely come here and check that out. And this is a great spot from this deck to look down to deck number 6, because there are a lot of activities that they perform down here. So we are now forward on deck number 8, and this is the uppermost level of the atrium. You can look down there to deck number 6 that we were at earlier. There is a ton to cover here on deck number 8, so I'm going to start you from inside the atrium. We are going to wrap around, we're going to go inside, we're going to go outside, because there's a lot of outdoor, really nice outdoor spaces. So over here we do have the Belvedere bar right inside the atrium here on deck number 8. So we're going to continue to go aft on deck number 8, and over here we have Onda by Scarpetta. This is the Italian restaurant on board. This is again specialty dining, but you can use your more at sea coupons or your reservations for this as well. And I am actually trying to get in here for one of the last 2 nights on my cruise. Again, I can't stress enough how you need to book early with the inclusion with the more at sea. Now we'll take you outside to show you the Ocean Boulevard, but part of Ocean Boulevard does have this alfresco section for Onda. So you can come out here if the weather is cooperating and enjoy a nice meal alfresco. And who wouldn't want to have that view as the backdrop for their meal? So back here in the atrium on deck number 8, and we do have more shops. This is the cosmetics store. Over here we have the tag shop, Breitling. So over here we have the Perspective Studio. If you want to do a photo shoot with your family and friends, that's a really great option for you. And then up here we do have the art gallery. I like when they have galleries that you can walk through and you can actually appreciate the stuff as you're moving throughout the ship. I think that's a great option. Okay, we're continuing to head aft. We're going to go through the photo gallery now. So they do have these self-service kiosks right here. So if you want to see some of the photos that they've been taking of you throughout your voyage, you can do that here. You can also order prints or digital copies as well. And they do have a myriad of camera accessories, batteries, and whatnot. Okay, I'm going to continue to stay inside. We will go out to Ocean Boulevard, I promise. But right now we're going to check out the local bar and grill. And this is an included dining and beverage option here on board the ship. Obviously the beverage contingent on whether or not you have a package or not, but all the food is complimentary here inside the local. So here we have the main bar at the local. And I will mention as well that the local is open 24 hours a day. So if you have a hankering for some bites in the middle of the evening, you can come here. You can get chicken wings, burgers, french fries, and lots of other bites. Come here and check out the menu at the local. From the bar area, you can go towards the other side, and this is sort of the main dining part. They might have a few more options here as far as food, and they do also serve breakfast in here daily as well. We are here now at the Indulge Food Hall, which is a really great concept on board the ship. They are doing a crew drill right now. We are not under emergency, so this is just a crew drill here in Bimini. So as I was saying, the food hall is a really great concept. They do have a bunch of different stations, and each one of them has a unique dining. Now, I do also want to point out that this is in addition to the buffet. So this is only an extra option that they've provided here. So each of these stations is open for lunch and for dinner. And again, you have lots of different choice. And the great thing is that you don't actually have to go up and walk around and get your food. And a great feature is that each table has one of these kiosks where you can actually order the food and then they bring it to you. So if you use one of the kiosks that are at the tabletops, you can order from all of the different venues here in the food hall. However, if you come over here, like in the case at Noodles, and you order from one of the counter services, you can only access the food that is available here at this particular option. And there is loads of seating in here. Here we have the Latin Quarter. And then over here on this side, this is like soups and salads. There's this cute little tapas truck. And then there is also the seaside rotisserie that has like chicken and shish kebab and other great bites. And if you're looking for some Q, there is Q Texas here that has some really nice barbecue. And they do also have pop-up breakfast here as well. So this is another place where you can come. There's a little bit of overflow that allows you to kind of not be in the mix of the buffet, which is a little tight on this ship. I'll show that to you when we get up there. But I like this option where you can sit, and you can have a little more relaxed environment. Now I'm going to take you outside and explore some of the great outdoor spaces here on deck number 8. So right off the So right off the indulge food hall, you do have lots of spaces where you can come bring your meal out here and enjoy it in the nice weather like we're having here today in Bimini. So whether you want full sun, you need some shade, there's lots of options here at the aft section of deck number 8. So over here we do have the Soleil bar. This is like the main bar here on deck number 8 aft. Cool. And right off the bar they do have this little bit of a shade cover, so it does kill some of the direct rays if that's important to you. As I said, there is tons of deck space out here on deck 8. I would actually say that there is more deck space on deck number 8 than there is up on the main pool deck, and you'll see what I mean when we get up there as well. If I were going to be looking to be outside, this is the space I would come to. So we are still adjacent to the Indulge food hall, and as we're going to be making our way forward, you're going to see the space kind of change a little bit, but it is uninterrupted space that you can walk through. Over here we have one of the ice cream stations. It's currently closed right now. They're just finishing up breakfast, but you can come here and get your soft serve. And there are other locations around the ship as well for that. So now we start getting into more of the sun, and relaxation spots, more or less away from the food hall. So if shade is more your thing, you'd want to come over here and duck in over to the side. And it is a little on the small side, but there is this sort of plunge pool that does have an infinity view out to the side of the ship. Over here we do have a very large shower that does have a seat for accessibility purposes. Okay, we're going to continue to head forward here on deck number 8. So this is what they consider Ocean Boulevard. So it really is a boulevard of spots to eat, places to drink, places to lay out and enjoy the sun and the elements that brought you on board the cruise ship in the first place. Now over here we do have the landing zone for the drop, which is a dry slide that starts way up there. And it's actually a little bit different than some other ships where the floor actually drops below your feet and you fall straight down to deck number 8. Some of the outdoor seating from the local bar and grill. And as I said, we're going to continue to head forward on deck number 8. Over here we do have some of the outside seating for Los Lobos, which is the Mexican specialty restaurant on this ship. Here we are back at the outdoor seating for Onda by Scarpetta here on deck number 8. So a little bit less of a loungy vibe over here. This is more the dining and just places to kind of lean up against the rail and enjoy your views. And then here we are at the glass catwalk that looks right down to the water below. And we are continuing forward on deck number 8. And even more seating as you go forward. I like this because it has a bit of an overhang, but you still got those uninterrupted views outside. Like I said, this is my favorite spot on the entire ship, is here on deck number 8. Whether I want to eat, whether I want to drink, lay out in the sun, take a little dip in one of the plunge pools. There's a little bit of everything here. Now we're going to pass through these doors. It'll take us back into the upper level of the atrium. Now from back here in the top level of the atrium on deck number 8, I'm going to take you now on the opposite side and we'll have a look at the Ocean Boulevard, which looks very similar, however a little less bright. So that's a little tip that if you don't want the sun, depending on the time of day of course, maybe switch over to the other side and you'll be able to take advantage of some more shady spots. But over here right now you can see down through the glass catwalk, you can see that we are off-boarding people in Bimini. Just a gorgeous day here, really nice. Weather's been perfect on this sailing so far. So now we're actually heading aft again, but I am on the opposite side. So currently this is the starboard side, which is the right side of the ship when facing forward. I like these little patches of artificial turf. Really kind of softens all of the hard surfaces in this area. So right now we're on the outside of the local. So you do have seating here just like on the opposite side of the ship. And Over here to the left, you can see that we have a very similar setup where you've got the loungers. There's a little kind of foot splash pool all the way around this elevated section. I do kind of wish that they put another pool here or made the pool itself larger. It's a nice element, I guess, but not really as functional when you want to have people get in and out of the pool. I think that would have been better. And then on the other side, again, you have a duplicate of the loungers kind of floating there in the little water pad. Now I will say the main pool on this ship is very tiny for a ship this size, and you'll see why that is as we move our way up there. So on the inside of Ocean Boulevard here on deck 8, we have the entrance, the inside entrance to Los Lobos. We had seen this from the exterior, and it looks just as nice here on the inside. Nice vibrant colors. So if you're looking for a cool Mexican dining experience, come over here to Los Lobos. So here on deck 12, we have the access to the Studios Lounge on board Norwegian Aqua. So here we are on deck 12, and this is the studio lounge that you'll have access to if you book a studio or a solo room here on Norwegian Aqua. Very nice space. It's really designed for you to meet and mix and mingle with other guests that are traveling solo on board your cruise. Another great perk is that you do have access to this espresso machine here. It's very similar to what Royal Caribbean has with their Crown and Anchor Society lounge on board their ships. So you'll have a nice selection of coffees and teas and so forth, some cool beverages, and then there'll be some snacks and stuff switched out here throughout the day. And then you'll need your beverage package, but there is also a soda machine right in here, and ice, as well as a few options for beer and for wine. So here on deck 14 forward, we do have another entrance for Splash Academy, and this will take us to the Entourage Teen Club.
Is there another room there? Is that the exit? The registration on either one.
Oh, okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
So located on deck 15 forward, we do have the Splash Academy Kids Club here on Norwegian Aqua. Here in the Splash Academy, this is like the theater area here. So here we are on deck 16 forward, and we are going to check out the Mandara Spa and Salon. Let's go have a look. This would be good for me. For a shave anyway.
Yeah. I also have the salon.
Oh, beauty salon, very nice. So here we have the Pulse Fitness Center.
The gym is open from 6 until 11.
Okay. Great forward-facing views out to the ocean.
And then you just play on the day.
Got a spin class here on board. Come and check that out.
I have two pools. One warm and one is cool.
Very nice. Eucalyptus. Very nice.
And we have the charcoal sauna, which is humid. We have the finish, which is hot and dry. We have the experimental shower. We have two of them. We have a salt room, and then we have the clay.
With the heated beds here. Nice views out to the water. So here aft on deck number 17, we do have the entrance to the Vibe Beach Club. Now the Vibe Beach Club is an additional charge. The rates will vary depending on the length of your cruise, but it does give you access to some different whirlpools, more plush loungers. There is bar service here as well. So if that's something you might be interesting to you, then please definitely check that out. It can be booked in advance and you typically get a better price. Here aft on deck 17 we do have the Surfside Grill. So this grill is an extension of the main buffet, so you can eat your burgers and dogs right over here. And over here we do have the Surfside bar. So right now we are aft on deck 17. We're going to be moving forward. This is going to take us through the main buffet, and then it'll take us out eventually to the pool area. Here we have some fresh fruit station. We have a good amount of seating here with great ocean views. Now, one of my complaints is that this buffet is rather tight. This being a major thoroughfare to get in between the pool deck and the aft section, you do have very narrow corridors here, so I really don't like the layout of everything up against one wall. It would have been nice if they created more stations, but the whole environment is very tight here. Just to let you know, that's why the food hall down on deck 8 is a really welcome option. We're going to continue to head forward on deck 17. So from the Surfside buffet, there is this area here that is outside, quasi. It does have a full ceiling, but it does give you nice views, and there's a breeze coming through here as well. So here we are now at the main pool deck. We've got a DJ spinning music here pretty much all of the time. And off to each side of the deck, flanking the main pool, you do have this hot tub. Now I'm sorry to have to do this, but I'm gonna go into gripe number 2. For a ship this size, this pool is vastly undersized. It is, right now we're in port and it's busy. You can imagine on a day at sea. So again, here's another shot of the pool. And I will show you in just a moment why this pool is as small as it is. And it has to do with one major attraction, the headline attraction on board this ship. Here we have the Waves pool bar. So this is the main bar up against the pool. Now on the opposite side of the pool bar, you do have Palomar. This is actually one of the specialty dining options, which is quasi outside as well. Here we have the inside of the Palomar restaurant. And right across from Palomar, we do have Sukhothai. This is again another specialty venue here on board Norwegian Aqua. It's a very cool setup in here. And this will be open for dinner. For specialty dining. Here we have the Sukhothai menu. Over here you have your towel exchange. Okay, we're going to head inside and then we'll continue to head forward on deck 17. So here we are at the forward elevator lobby on deck 17. So we're continuing forward on deck number 17. And a really nice space here on the forward section of most Norwegian ships is the observation lounge. Let's have a look in here. And what's great is this is a fully air-conditioned space with fantastic views out to the water or ports of call. In the morning, they will offer a light breakfast option here as well. There is full bar service, and they do have activities in here throughout the voyage as well. Here is the observation bar. And as you can see, it completely wraps around the forward section of deck number 17. So you're really getting the bridge views from up here, which in most ships, in fact, you don't really even get access to the front of the ship anymore. So that's a nice feature that they've retained that on board Norwegian Aqua. Now, right between the observation lounge, we do have the game zone, which is a really cool space, and it is the main arcade here on board Norwegian Aqua. And in here, in addition to the arcade and more traditional games, they do have a lot of these simulator virtual reality experiences. So if you see here from this screen, you can actually select lots of different environments. So that's pretty cool. All of this stuff here is at an extra charge. It certainly has to be one of the largest arcades at sea because it just keeps going and going. So here you have some racing games, motorcycles, cars. And then if you're into the ticket redemption type of thing, they've got that here as well. Just continue through here a little bit more. Here's more of the VR experiences. So all these have headsets that you would wear. Here's a really cool multiplayer Pac-Man game. Activity that Norwegian kind of pioneered on board some of their ships is the bowling. And for us older folk, we've got some of the more classic arcade games as well. That's nice to see that. So from here on deck 17, we're going to go up to deck 18 and check out the Kids Aqua Park. And this is a really nice, fun spot for the smaller children to cool off on the ship. They're not quite ready for the Aqua Slidecoaster. This is perfect for them. Here we are at deck 18. This is midship. And there's a lot of really cool activities out here. We'll go check them out. Here's your check-in desk here for any of the mini golf. And I'll show you this mini golf now. It is daytime, but this is all electronic, and this is really part of the glow court that they have here. And it looks really cool during the day. They've got lots of really great obstacles. Check out this. But if you think it looks great during the day, it looks amazing at nighttime. So definitely come out here and enjoy some of the nighttime activities. And a little bit aft of the mini golf, you do have the entrance to the drop that'll take you from here on deck 18 all the way down to Ocean Boulevard on deck number 8. And then right around the corner from those really fun activities, you do have the Bullseye Bar with a great aft view off the back of the ship. Now we are still aft on deck number 18, and on the opposite side from where we had the mini golf, you do have this rather large games area. It has lots of these ping pong tables. We have a large foosball. And this is probably the first I've seen it see is like an official beer pong table. How cool is that? And here we have some shuffleboard tables. And here we have the old school shuffleboard, which you've seen on cruise ships for decades, with a little bit of purple shag. Nice. All right, we're gonna head up to deck 19 now, which is really mainly the entrance to the Aqua Slidecoaster. And up here on deck 19, we have an extension of the mini golf. There are some more holes up here, so don't forget that. And again, the theming is fantastic. And it wraps around this entire aft section of deck 19. Now this is another first as far as I am concerned, that this is a fully fledged permanent pickleball court here on Norwegian Aqua. Now I have seen them convert basketball courts and such, but this one is full-time set up for pickleball. Now I have mentioned it several times. Here is the Aqua Slidecoaster, and it just opened and there's already quite a line for the Aqua Slide. And for those that are interested, here is the safety and requirements for Aqua Slidecoaster. There are some clear sections as you're whizzing your way down. It's not overly fast. Once you get over the launch, which is really exhilarating, the rest of it is kind of just like a, typical lazy sort of water slide, lazy river, if you will. So the sun deck here on the upper portion of deck number 19. It's a little more secluded spot for sunbathing. There's really not too much shade up here. And another thing that is great up here is that you have uninterrupted views to the ocean. Now let's head on up to deck 20 and check out the glow court. This is pretty cool. They have this lounge area here. One thing I really love about cruise ships is the higher and higher you go, the better the views become. So don't be afraid to get up there and really take in the sights from all over the ship. And then again, you really want to appreciate this at nighttime, but this is the entrance to the glow court right here. Thanks for watching our walking tour here on board Norwegian Aqua. Don't forget to like this video, post your comments and questions, hit that notification bell, and subscribe for more Talking Cruise.